I can't believe, of course, I haven't seen you for 50 years, and I'm sure it'll be the same way with other people we will meet there, that how was 50 years go by, but we're still friends. The Vietnam War and the draft and our response to that, and that was probably the seminal feature of my college years was Vietnam. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just going to have fun meeting people and playing basketball. But I didn't think about Vietnam at all when I started. But boy, a couple of years later, that's about all I could think about. Civil rights and Martin Luther King, everything was just wonderful. It was happening right before our eyes. But Vietnam was something that just was a dark cloud. And it hit everyone, particularly the guys, of course.
My husband and I got married in our senior year, and then he was a teacher, so he was teaching PE and health at Capitol View Junior High School, and the day we brought our baby home from the hospital, he received his draft notice. So being married, being a teacher, having a child, still resulted in a draft notice.
The draft was ramping up. And we were all talking about what we can do, because most of us weren't really supporters of the war. We didn't know what the ultimate goal was of that war, and we didn't really want to fight in something that had no noble goal. So we were talking about how can we legitimately and legally not have to go to fight in Vietnam. And we all had different ways to deal with that. And I can tell you that my way, and I changed my major in 1966 to chemistry, because you had to take so many chemistry classes to meet the requirements for medical school. And I thought I better have that as sort of a fallback, so if nothing else works, I can go to medical school or apply to medical school, and that's an automatic deferment.
It's not only the Vietnam War that was shaping our generation, but there was a women's movement that was taking shape, the civil rights movement that was changing our attitudes and perspectives. I know as a female walking onto campus, we were told what clothes to bring, how late we could be out at night. But by the time I graduated, 4 years later, all those restrictions on clothing, on hours in the dorm, and our Thalian group's topic was sex education. So premarital sex, that's what it was. So
which they wouldn't have touched 4 years before that.
No. So it was a great big change, and those are just little minuscule examples of how that happened. I actually played a very small role in his campaign to be class president, but I knew him to be a political science major who was very knowledgeable and keenly aware of what was going on, and so he was put in this impossible position. And I think, again, it shaped his life forever. His life would have probably taken a very different path had not the draft notice arrived. I think that the education I got at Macalester was very rich and deep, and it gave me what I call the mental Velcro for the rest of my life. I had this scaffolding of knowledge, whether it was from Man and His World or the religion classes that I took or the geography classes in the major that I had, but it served as a framework.
Macalester Education prepared us for the future, no matter what our future was going to be. And that's what I valued most about it. It wasn't just, you know, a vocational college. We're going to teach you to do this or do that. It prepared me for whatever I did. And I actually had been thinking of law school, much more than medical school, but it helped me in medical school too.
We're going to become Golden Scots. That's only allowed for people who've graduated 50 years or more.
We're not sure we're proud of that or not, but as long as we're doing it with all the other people.
Yeah.